Hello and welcome to the Schola Progenium. Today we're flying to Denmark to fight a guy.
So before we get stuck into the battle report itself, guys, I just want to explain a couple of things about the project that we've put together for you here. Now, me and JP were extremely lucky and honoured to be hosted by the venerable Bo Mortensen, captain of the Danish national team, over the weekend. Yep, that's right, we flew over to Denmark to face off against himself and various members of the Danish national team, as well as his broader gaming crew, all lined up for a whole series of battles that me and JP fought in order to be trained up for the Warlord GT coming this August. So I'm of course going to leave a link down below to the Warlord GT. If you haven't got a ticket, make sure you sign up. But also for Bo's channel, I just want to take a second to thank Bo and his wonderful wife for hosting us over the weekend in his own home. We were so well fed, we were well watered. Bo is a fantastic cook, let me tell you. And just all in all, we were made to feel welcome and at home throughout the weekend, and just honestly can't thank them enough for the experience as a whole. We had the absolute best time filming this project for you guys. Now, with all that being said, let me show you the list that I ran over the weekend. So starting off, we have a second lieutenant regular. That's the cheapest option the Finns can go for. They can't go inexperienced. We also had 4 squads of sissy riflemen. Each of these, every man was upgraded to tough fighter, and they all have the master of the hunt ability, which allows them to advance into ambush. We also had a squad of 6 continuation warfighters, and they had 2 Panzerfausts. They weren't tough fighter, they're just regular, keep it cheap, but of course if they take half casualties, just like any Finnish infantry, they can upgrade a veterancy level, so that would take them to veteran. With the Sissy, it takes them up to leadership 11 essentially, which is really great. Moving on to the support teams, we have a flamethrower team regular, we have a regular Panzerschreck team, we have a veteran Finnish sniper who was clutch in every game, he never lets me down. We also had a regular Bofors heavy anti-tank cannon, we had a heavy autocannon, my mistake. On top of that, in terms of vehicles, we had the BT-42 bringing in that medium howitzer fire support. We had a regular car, we had an inexperienced car, and then I also borrowed a horse and carriage to pull the Bofors for 8 points. I borrowed that off Bo when I was over there. I'm going to get hold of one myself because it was absolutely incredible. Final support unit is this mortar here. That's a regular mortar without a spotter, and currently my mortar's actually at JP's house, so that's why I've got this German one standing in for now. Now, the format of the videos is slightly different if you're a regular viewer, and that is because we're playing in a very competitive environment, and these guys were giving us our time. We didn't have time to invest in showing you all the dice rolls, showing you every individual move, but what we have got is a really valuable coaching session, an end of turn summary at the end of every turn, where sort of I explain my thoughts, my opponent explains his, and then Bo explains sort of everything that he sees about what's going on and tactically what to do in that situation. And just once again, Bo, and you'll hear Michael as well, the Danish champion, who was just an amazing coach as well. He took an equal part over the course of the day in just training us up, me and JP, and again, we cannot thank Michael enough, or as I call him, Wolfie. So with all that being said, guys, let's get stuck in to the first battle.
Okay, so first match in Denmark, I'm playing against Torben, and he's got his brutal looking Brits here. Do you want to talk us through, Torben?
Yeah, I got 4 lots of Gurkhas here, with 7 in each. I got my Staghound, 2 machine guns only, and a light anti-tank. I have my inexperienced mortar, my Royal Canadian Engineers with a flamethrower.
Regular or veteran?
Veteran.
Veteran, of course.
And inexperienced Jeep. Then I have my flamethrower here, regular. 3 forward observer, a sniper, also regular, a medic, just for fun, and Monty. Always have to go.
Yeah, for sure.
Then I have 2 regular bin gun carriers with full armament, so 2 LMGs. Yeah. I have my Stewart regular tank with no pinto mount.
No pinto. Yeah, no point getting the pins, right? If you're chasing infantry.
To be honest, most of the time I actually do have it with me. I also have it on this one. Because it's 10 extra shots.
Yeah.
Put them together.
Yeah.
And it is quite a lot. And normally I'd always try to save my tank for the very last, so I won't get the pins. It's very rare that I actually get the pins from the normal fire.
Yeah. So why no today? You medic paid for the extra dice.
No, it was a point thing.
Point thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I wanted to make sure the medic is actually really only there for the extra dice.
Okay.
I don't use him a lot, but he can run after the Gurkhas, maybe save a few.
Yeah. One extra Gurkha's one extra Gurkha, right?
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay, so we're at the end of turn 1. I'm learning a lot already, guys. Put my continuation war squad over here with the Fausts. They're probably out of position now. I am aware that I need to sort of spread my forces a little bit, and I can reposition. Now, it's kind of rock and a hard place. Put everything together. I'm better defended against the Gurkha horde, but I also get slammed up by the pins whilst he runs up, which is exactly what he wants, right? Yeah. So, in other news, I chanced a shot on his Gurkhas. I got a 5, needing a 6. He chanced a shot on the BT with the Staghound, needing a 6, got it, got the pen, but fortunately just a stun. Now, what are you thinking mistakes-wise?
Mistakes-wise, it's like we talked about before. You're very, very spread out.
Yeah.
And all mine are very put together. So mine are going to come in on a force and hopefully break you in half. So you can actually, hopefully, maybe just shoot me. And that would be it. I think these over here are very out of place. Because it's going to take them ages, even though they can run through terrain. It's going to still take them ages to actually get up and actually do anything. And when I don't have any armor over there...
The Fausts are out.
Yeah, the Fausts are kind of out of the picture. These here, they're still a little bit out of place. Then if they need to move out and do anything real, then they need to move out from heavy cover where I can actually shoot them along the way. So they are also a little bit out of place, but then again, you don't want to clump up on the fields and get all my artillery in the face. I probably would have moved some more up in the middle here.
Yeah, I think those 2 squads would be better placed centre left as opposed to left.
Yeah, yeah, I would think so.
Sound. But yeah, all in all, learn a lot and we're having fun so far. So we'll put dice in the back. Our thoughts now. Bo's going to tell me all the stuff I did wrong.
Well, the first thing is this over here is in a flank where everything is in soft cover. And there's loads of open ground, which means that the enemy can move in. And he's playing against the Gurkha army, which is an assault army, so the enemy has loads of possibilities of charging 12 inches down and getting right into his lines. Worse yet, if we look over here, this flank can now no longer support the other flank. So the 2 flanks are now separated and cannot support each other. I personally would have thought that the Finnish army would have been better off being over here, where they could have been in hard cover behind these walls, behind the house, where you could have forced the enemy to come to you through the center of the town. Right now, one of these forces is going to get assaulted by a full army of Gurkhas. They're going to need to shift positions, some of them.
For sure. Okay, right, cool. Of turn 2 on this beautiful Danish morning. We're outside in the sun if you guys haven't picked it up, and it's absolutely lovely. However, what isn't lovely is when your British opponent rolls a 6 on their D6 plus 6 range for their artillery and gets it in turn 1. So that's resulted in a heck of a lot of pins. He then moved his Stuart up to give me the beans at close range. I elected to go down. No, that takes him out of the game for 2 turns because I still have to rally, but better better 2 turns
Better
out than
alive,
dead.
yeah.
Better alive than dead. However, he still got 6s followed by 6s and managed to kill one of the crew and put a 4th pin on. Hey, what can you do? Failed my rally on 11 with the BT. Failed my rally on an 11 with the Sissy. So we're playing an uphill battle here, but you guys know I never surrender, so absolutely fine. A moment of glory. He decided to chance it with the Gurkhas across the road. These guys were in ambush. He was like, "You hitting on 5s?" I'm like, "No, sir. I regret to inform you, I'm hitting you on 4s because of my Finnish ambush rifles." We killed 3 of the Gurkhas, people. So that was great. We're repositioning our forces, as you can see. I am closing round here. I forced this Gurkha squad to go down. Not down, you went in ambush to avoid because you knew I was going to shoot at you from ambush, and we were on the last couple of dice. So that was certainly a good move, but it's also good for me because it's delaying the income. He brought his flamer up. I advanced back with the sniper. And I shot the sniper when he moved his soft skin flamer up. Got the hit. Didn't manage to kill the soft skin. It was close though, right? Wasn't it? I think I got 5 or something crazy.
Close, yeah.
These guys took a little more beans, but they're fine and cleared on pins. So unfortunately, we are still massively pinned up with those failed rallies. Slight mistake here. I thought horses were like go 360. Horse-drawn limb was my first game with one. But in fact, they counted a wheeled vehicle, so I've put him the wrong side of that difficult ground there. Can't get out of there, is what it is. Critical mistake. Early game, put a dice down for my flamer. Last dice, ran the flamer over here. I should have put it here and then come up. It is what it is. Okay, we're learning. Bo, what are your thoughts on making the best of it? What would you do?
Well, right now you can't do a thing, especially if you fail your order tests. Rally tests now would have been critical. That was going to try and save the what's happening over here. This is, as I said last turn, this is always going to go horribly wrong now for you. Everything's coming up. He's like doing exactly as you should, pushing in his artillery first, and then following up with flamers and Gurkhas, and there's very little you can do about it.
It's as I said. I said to you, didn't I? I run my own Gurkhas. I know what you're doing to me. There's just nothing I can do to stop you.
One thing I will say, like, try to get pins on his flamers when they come.
Yes.
That's the only thing that can save you now.
Small mercies. We've got a pin on there. We have a pin on the Brits.
Yeah. See if you can get see if you can get one more on his flamer just to make sure that he doesn't hit you. That will save you maybe 1 turn. Then everything, the Bren gun, the Bren carriers are going to double pin you. The Steward is going to double pin you. The Stack Hound is going to double pin you. So you're going to get pinned next turn as well.
Yeah.
You lead a bit of a miracle, a morale miracle over here.
I need a morale miracle.
Yeah.
But I think repositioning wise, we are causing his Gurkhas to advance under precise rifle fire, and we have done some casualties, and I'll take that. So yeah, we'll be back after turn 3. Turn 3, and we are doing what we can with the Finns. We got very lucky on the first dice because we had a dice disadvantage. Flamer hopped out the car, lit up the Gurkhas, dealt with. Over the course of the turn, we just got stuff in ambush, repositioned. As you can see, the cars are just getting out of touch, as Michael said. Great advice. But the big news is his engineers hopped out, but because my car was wedged here, he was over half range, he missed. I then charged my veterans across here, wiped them out without a man, lost, got to consolidate 6 inches into the island. I'm calling this an island because he can't charge me 12 inches if I'm in it. Brought these 3 across into ambush. He got his flamethrower out to try and light me up. 3 shots was all we needed. Dealt with the second flamethrower. Advanced into ambush. Everyone's against the inches here. He put a pin on me with his Bren and used the Bren for cover. He brought the Gurkhas around and I got a pin on them, but no kill sadly from that ambush. We're on a 4 each for the mortar and we rallied the BT-42. Now I'm feeling like, in terms of where we were a turn ago, I am very happy. We've also, over here, we're keeping these guys in ambush and we're just keeping this squad of Gurkhas behind. So he's got 2 fed forward now, but it's only 2 squads. That That's kind of my thoughts. What are your thoughts, Bo?
First thought is, and this is a rule technicality, have you moved in deliberately saying that you wanted to be so he couldn't charge you?
Yeah,
Because then you need to be a little back.
a little back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you're touching the edge, which is where you can shoot him without giving him cover,
Yeah.
he can also charge you from 12 inches.
Okay. Now this is something we've discussed prior to the game, because the way we play it back home is if you're within an inch of the edge, you still don't count the cover. But when in Denmark, fight as the Danish do.
Yep.
So you know, these are now providing cover because they're not touching the edge, and you know, we're happy with that.
So these are not touching the edge.
Yeah.
Right. These are down pinned, but they are touching the edge.
These advanced up and were specifically, they're supposed to. Everyone's supposed to be over. So no one. They're all giving cover, and they're all charge max range 6 inches. That's the way I'm specifically, and that's where I declared it, isn't it? And that's the way we played it.
Then just moving back a little.
And when I shot them, you got the cover anyway. So
No, I didn't.
you did. You got hard cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just because we're playing a very slightly different way to the way we're used to here.
Yeah.
Both of us got killed.
That got
The Stuart murdered it. Murdered it. He tried to kill the sniper, but no dice, sadly. He rolled terribly. And then, what else are you thinking, Bo? Appreciate that, by the way. Thank you.
Do you have any AT left?
I have 2 Fausts sprinting up.
They're sprinting here.
Yeah.
You're still in trouble.
I'm just...
But I mean, it's very nicely pulled back. You got lucky on a few things, but you are very much still in trouble. You need to go on ambush as quickly as possible.
But I do have 4 dice to 2 out, so...
Yeah, so that gives
Could
you
happen.
a slight advantage. Even if you go on ambush, you're going to get pinned, which means that the Gurkhas will charge you anyway. You're going to fight. Yeah.
Same time.
Yeah.
Dice.
But they
We'll
won't
just have to
charge
do
you
what we
this
can.
turn. Let's see what can happen.
So it's interesting, basically.
Yeah, I still think Torben is in a better position. Tactically, you got really lucky, which was nice.
But also, I must say, in my defence, one of my advantages for the Finns is it does catch you out, doesn't it, with the occasional... The occasional ambush and this, that and the other.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. Torben's only played Finns once before. So although Torben's a vastly superior player to me, there's always more to learn, right? Always. Yeah. So we're having a really fun game on a beautiful summer's day in Denmark. End of turn 4. The Brits are definitely pulling it back there. Nothing I could do. Critical mistake. Advanced my flamethrower around here to try and light him up. Totally forgot he'd ambushed his Bren carrier, put his Bren carrier in ambush. So getting caught out by my own tricks there, and obviously he lit up that flamethrower, no problem whatsoever. He's got his Gurkhas close. They're on 2 pins because they took a hit from one squad and a hit from the sniper, but no kills. Both these squads were on ambush, and he really pinned this squad up beforehand. And then the BT failed and his blooming order check. And he managed to hit him with the stag and put a pin back on him. It was all he needed. And I, of course, reversed 6 inches. So the Brits are right in our faces. They've got another squad in this building. They've got a squad right here. It's looking like we're coming into the, exactly, the final stretch. I also have this continuation squad running up. But, of course, with Gurkhas in a building, can you charge out of buildings? Yeah. So... no spoilers, but... the Brits are definitely pressing the advantage here. Finns are doing the best they can. Comment down below if you spot any other mistakes, but we're going to crack on into turn 6, and we've done the best we can. We're still punching. The mortar managed to get a lucky 6, although I got a 2, so I only glanced him on the open topped. And I did immobilise him, thanks to the +1 to the damage penetration table on a drop shot, on an indirect fire. So Monty, the officer, disembarked and ate a round to the face from the sniper, which was very nice. I'm on a 2 for him, so hopefully another dice in the bag. These 2 are quite literally a thorn in your side, aren't they? They're killing They're killing the flamethrowers. They're forcing the Gurkhas to take order checks. They're bleeding him down. So we're doing everything we can, and it's 6 kills to the Finns, 7 to the Gurkhas. So he's only beating me by 1, But I think we all know, we've had a little chat, and Bo, you know, you can say, but it's obvious that if you charge these and kill them,
if he gets the first dice, here, then these are tough fighter veterans, right? Yeah. So it's going to be a tough fight, but I think he'll have it, and then these two are going to die, which means that you're behind, and then he can sort of wrap up whatever he needs to kill down here. Maybe, like, especially the mortar is very exposed right now to the staghound.
One thing we would say is he got, even though we were the same dice in the bag, you got the first 5, didn't you?
Oh,
which really,
that sucks.
That really diddled me.
Yeah.
Gave the Brits what they needed, although in many ways rightfully so. I have squirmed my way back to a draw. So yeah, into turn 6. Any final? Everyone? I'm dead, right?
You're dead. You're dead.
Got some dice on camera for you boys. It's an interesting one. I'm hitting him on 2s. I got the first dice. I'm ambushing, and it's reroll that, not flat on the table. Yes, all hitting 5s. I'll bloody take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, glorious moment. Glorious moment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he stays on 2 on a double 1. Now we fight. You're a tough fighter, right? No. Sit.
No, half.
It'll be 3. Do it. So, end of turn 6. We've rolled the dice. That's the end of the game. It's all she wrote. We got a 2. It's 8 all, people. A draw.
Wow.
You happy with that, Bo? You proud of me?
I'm proud of you. Yeah.
Okay.
That is well done.
So, basically, my final thoughts was I advanced and ambushed into positions, but ready to go down. And I ended up going down with these guys. They ate a fair bit of fire, but they just could not get wiped out. He, of course, killed my mortar over here, but he got very unlucky with the Stuart. He brassed up the horse-drawn limber. He got 2 pens, but it was a 2 and a 3.
Wow.
Very unlucky. As we saw over here, glory to Finland. The veterans.
The Gurkhas are gone.
But the tree is a glancing on the horse.
Oh yeah, we got it. It's all good. Super soft.
Super soft.
So all in all, I basically, with my consolidator, I got a 6, which was brilliant. Because what that did is it allowed me to pull these guys back, and it just meant there was no way he could get closer to my cars. So all in all, and then this guy, he charged this 1-on-2 with the Gurkhas. He failed to get any kills, and I killed him back. And that was that. So he got 1. I think
Down to 10 Finnish infantrymen. That is all you have left.
That's all I need.
Right.
So put a lot of mistakes early game. Had to play my absolute socks off and ride the tiger in terms of luck on the dice in order to pull it back.
And do a roll for your horses on fire.
Oh yeah.
You have to do
That can be very important.
I'm getting ahead of myself, people.
Do it on live camera.
Yeah, for sure, of course.
So it's on fire. It's got
One
how many
pin.
pins?
You need to do another.
1 for the hit, 2 for each damage, 1 for each damage.
So
3
3
pins.
pins.
Needing a 6 or you win.
Well, no.
Still a draw.
It's still a
Oh,
draw,
still a draw,
but
but
it's a draw to
you.
Torpin's advantage.
I'll take it.
Right.
Limber
That
runs
is
off.
it. Nice.
Happy?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Right, we'll call it there, guys. Catch us for the next
So
one.
now that we've seen the first battle, what can we take away from this? Well, of course, first of all, very happy with the draw, and that just underlines the point I always make. Never surrender, never give up. It's bolt action. Keep fighting, because you never know what result you'll be able to pull out of the bag with a determined and cool head. Now, I actually learned a lot about fighting the Brits as well here, and some really valuable information. I'm going to do a whole video on fighting the Brits after this weekend because we learnt a lot about it. But from this first battle, really a big part of it was positioning. First couple of turns, I'd really set myself on the back foot. I'd spread out too much. I was happy with deploying on the left in the soft cover in the islands of rough ground because it allowed me to fire and maneuver, but essentially, advance into ambush forwards and backwards, left to right, wherever I wanted, staying out of the clutches of the Gurkhas whilst hammering them with accurate rifle fire. Now, something I should have done is put my BT more central. Really, against the Brits, the tanks are safe. That BT would have been much better served in the middle of the board there, slinging shots through that gap, the gap between those two buildings, and just making it an absolute nightmare for my opponent. As it was, he ended up getting jeweled in light cover and continuously stunned and put down, which stopped him really being effective throughout the game, especially against the Brits. They really don't have that many solid anti-tank options. They've just got a lot of light anti-tank options, and the tank, even armor 8, would have been very safe in the middle of the board. And going forward, that's something I'm going to exploit in every battle I do against Brits. Also, area terrain solves the tank issue very quickly, so if you can have him in the centre of the battle and then just roll into a bit of area terrain, have your hull over 50% obscured, he's good to go against the Brits for sure. He's just going to hammer out shots all day, and it's going to be a real nightmare for those Gurkhas. Even if you don't wipe a squad, you just take them down to, say, 4 men. That's enough. That's enough to stop them doing what they need to do. There's no way a 4-man Gurkha squad can charge even a similarly wounded sissy squad. Those rifles are just going to damage them too much on the ambush if they get set up properly. So it puts the Brits in a really tough position, having a decent howitzer tank in the middle of the board in cover. I think also, before flaming anyone, before trying to knock people out or even rifle fire, should have been stacking more pins. It was actually really useful to put a couple of pins on each Gurkha squad. Yeah, they can get up and run, so you kind of think, oh, what's the point? But actually, despite being able to just automatically pass a run check, when you hammer them, there's not that many of them. They die as easy as any other veteran squad. And having those couple of pins on means if you give them a wallop, they're much more likely to run away when they take half casualties. And over the course of the weekend, that was something that really sort of struck me, which is a really good way to deal with Gurkhas, is to tickle them up a little bit, then hit them hard and see them drop their kukris and run. So yeah, just basically spread your fire, batter up all the Gurkhas. Don't try and wipe out full units, just take them down a little bit. So it was all about positioning. It was about pulling back and sort of drawing them forward, holding off. As you saw on the right flank, I might just sort of delay a couple of his units and cause him to spread his forces and feed them into me one at a time, so into the meat grinder. So that's what allowed me to pull this back. But with all that being said, this was in big part thanks to my opponent himself, who was an absolute gent. We were going for it, we were both trying to win, but he was gave me loads of advice, really important bit of advice in the first turn. He said, slow down, man, you're going 1,000 miles an hour, just calm down, literally chill out and enjoy the game, because we're here to help you. And I was obviously amped up, excited, flown over and that kind of things, and I wasn't making the best decisions early on, and that's kind of the same in a tournament. So just that, not so much tactical advice as just psychological advice of look, you're here now, we're playing the tournament, you're settled in, just settle into the games and don't get sort of overly excited because you're facing off against a difficult opponent. Just take your time, chill, and you're less likely to make game-losing mistakes. And as soon as I did chill out and relax, the game started sort of coming together really, really nicely. And shout out to Torben as well, absolute legend. We had a real laugh. We got on like an absolute house on fire. And he's going to be coming over and visiting us in the next year or so. We're going to host he's going to join us with some tournaments because we got on with him so well. So with all that being said, guys, I just want to once again thank the Danish crew, all the lads out there, for all the help they gave us, and I'm going to be saying that a lot over the next few games, I'm sure. We've got a lot more content to come out. We filmed several battle reports. Bo got a couple filmed up of his own. They're over on his channel. He's already uploaded them, so make sure you go check those out as well. He's got full long form ones with just an overview camera where you can see the full battle take place over maybe 3 hours. So if you've enjoyed the video and learned something today, please make sure you remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And consider even joining us as a member. It's less than half a pint of beer a month, and it allows us to do these kinds of amazing and cool projects. And a big shout out to Timo and Setso, our first intrepid members who've supported us for so long and sort of boosted us and made sure that we are always aspiring to do more exciting creative projects for you guys. So with all that being said, I hope you found this video interesting and entertaining. This has been the Schola Progenium. Thank you very much for your time. Goodbye.